So in this video, we'll be breaking down Obvi's $40 million a year marketing funnel in depth. So we'll go through their meta ads, their landing pages, their pop-up forms, their email and SMS welcome flow, their email campaigns. So in case you don't know this brand, these guys are selling like collagen supplements for fat loss, burning fat, for boosting metabolism. So without further ado, let's dive right into the funnel breakdown. So first of all, as you can see, we have their meta ads. So meta ads, this is the top of their funnel. This is what they're using to attract attention and get website traffic towards their website, their landing pages. Okay, so let me show you what this looks like inside of meta ads library. So as you can see right now, they're running about 260 ads at the moment. This is probably going to get even higher since we're approaching Q4. They're probably going to up their ad spend. So if you're not running ads right now, or if you're not putting more money into your ads right now, you're making a serious mistake, because ads are just going to get more and more expensive from now. They're not going to get any cheaper till the end of the year. So right now is actually the best time to run ads, as many ads as you can, so you can build up your email list for as cheap as possible, so you can actually market to all of those people throughout the Q4, right? For Thanksgiving, Halloween, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Christmas, and all that stuff. So that's just a side note, but let's take a look at their ads. So as you can see, they're running a lot of UGC. So we have UGC, UGC, UGC. They're running static ads. So you can see a static ad, static ad, static ad, and they're running some AI generated ads. This one is AI generated. They're only using AI. So they're doing it very well. So these are their ads. Now we have obviously a winning caption. This is the caption they're using for every single ad. So we have over 500,000 women trust this collagen-infused 3-step system to help tackle their weight loss goals 24/7. So we have morning boost, kickstart your metabolism and energy, afternoon support, crush your cravings and stay focused, evening burn, restful sleep and overnight calorie burn, powered by 5 types of collagen and patented ingredients. So as you can see here, we have like a headline, which gives social proof. They have kind of like a unique system that they name like collagen infused 3-step system, and they give a benefit, which is kind of like help tackle their weight loss goals 24/7. So this is kind of like to track attention. They're giving social proof. They're giving a promise. They have a unique mechanism of how they're going to achieve that goal, which is pretty good. And they're kind of like breaking it down even more. It's kind of like it's going to give you morning boost, afternoon support, evening burn, all of that stuff. And then we have a testimonial here. So I've tried everything: calorie counting, crash diets, fasting, you name it. Nothing worked until the burn box. Within the first week, my cravings were gone. I had way more energy and I actually started seeing the scale move. I've lost 17 pounds so far and my jeans finally fit again. Best part, I did not have to starve myself to get here. So this is a pretty cool testimonial. As you can see, I'm 100% sure they did not really pick this testimonial randomly. They picked it because, first of all, it's kind of like starting with, hey, I tried everything. I've tried the same stuff as you did, calorie counting, crash diets, all that stuff, and it did not work. So you can relate, right? And then they're like, okay, nothing worked until I discovered Obvi, Burn Box, right? That's the name of their product. And then that worked. Then she gives like the exact benefits she got. So I've lost 17 pounds so far, and my jeans finally fit. This is a way to describe it in a little bit more imaginable way. Like when I say 17 pounds, that doesn't mean anything. But when I say my jeans finally fit again, that's a really important thing to people. It's not about the jeans, right? It's just about seeing progress in a more tangible way, right? Then we have best part. I did not have to starve myself to get here. So it's kind of like, yeah, I got all of this. And then you're probably thinking when you're reading this, okay, yeah, sure, but you probably did not eat much. And no, you're just actually killing even that expectation. And then we have a guarantee here. So Obvi has a 90-day money-back guarantee. If you don't love your results, get your money back, no questions asked. So they're giving you all the benefits and they're like saving it till the end. So all of this, and then if you don't even like the results you get over 90 days, you can even get your money back, no questions asked. So this is a really strong caption, and their ads are pretty good. They're like, as you can see on this one at least, it's pretty much really good at capturing your attention. It's a really good pattern interrupt. So they're running great ads, as you can see. Then this is the landing page where you land once you click the ad. So we have a headline: burn fat 24 hours a day, Obvi's morning, afternoon, and night formulas tag team your metabolism so it never goes off duty. Spark calorie burn at sunrise, quiet cravings at lunch, and keep torching fat while you sleep. Shop the triple burn bundle. So you can see pretty simple about the fold section, but it's pretty good, right? They're running a Labor Day sale right now, so you can save up to 61% off. Obviously, most of their stuff is not discounted as much, and it's probably way more kind of like made up, right? But overall, pretty good, pretty simple hero section, but it's pretty effective since they have been running this exact same hero section for quite some time right now. Now, let's take a look at their emails. Let's take a look at their pop-up form first. So their pop-up form, let me show you the variation they had in the past, and then I'm going to show you the variation they're running right now. So we have their pop-up form right here. You've got 20% off to claim let us know what is your ultimate health and beauty goal. So they're running these new quiz style pop-up forms. I'm going to make a video on these kinds of pop-up forms very soon, because These are the kinds of pop-up forms that you need to be running in 2025 and 2026, especially because if you don't have these kinds of pop-up forms right now, you're missing out on a lot of email subscribers and therefore a lot of revenue. So what I mean by quiz style pop-up form is like, I give you a discount here, like a headline, you got 20% off, but to claim, I need you to answer the prompt, right? Now, the reason for this prompt is not just like, hey, give me this. It's not about collecting zero-party data, right? It's more about getting people to commit because this is a really low barrier to entry way of getting people into the pop-up form because it's like, I'm just asking for you to answer a simple question and you're going to get 20% off, which is huge, right? But also it's about people valuing, like, first of all, it's about getting people to commit. Second of all, it's about people feeling like they're getting a personalized solution, right? Because when I say I need to lose weight, right? I feel like I'm going to get personalized emails that are about weight loss, right? And the third thing, it's about people valuing the discount more since they feel like they had to work for it. So they actually value it because they earned it, right? It's not about just being given to them, right? It's about them working for it, receiving the discount, and then they value it way more. They're way more likely to actually use it and spend money on our website, right? An interesting thing you can see here is their X here is not visible for the first second. So you actually have to focus on reading this, but you can close the pop-up form after a second. So you need to at least consider their offer, and then that's going to boost their conversion rate massively. Then you have the second step. Once you answer the prompt, you're asked to enter your email address. You can see how there's no distracting copy. There's nothing to actually distract you. It's just like the offer, CTA. They have some design around it, but that's about it. You can just enter your email address. Then the next thing, they're collecting phone numbers. Also, you can notice how they're not collecting email address and phone numbers in the same step. Why is that? Because they just don't want to overwhelm the customer. They want to have like a step-by-step, really easy way, nothing overwhelming for you to actually give them their info, right? So this is very simple. This is the way you should be doing. There is not a single reason why you should collect email and phone numbers at the same step. Just make 2 separate steps and you'll be fine. Then you have this, want 25% off. So they're kind of like upselling you. So if you want to get 25% off, get even 5% more, you have to go through this educational flow. So this pop-up form was made through Alia Learn. So if you don't know that company, these guys are making pop-up forms for all kinds of brands, the fastest growing brands. They specialize in making these kinds of quiz style pop-up forms. So they're doing pop-up forms for Nike, Fireability, Obvi, Armor, I think. All the biggest, fastest growing brands, they're making their pop-up forms. So you can see here, this is an educational flow that you get once you click this. So you have what's your goal with Obvi, you have to answer it. Now you're getting educated about their product, their brand. Here, you're seeing some social proof, and then you get this. So this way, you're getting prime once you get the discount, you're getting prime for their brand. You're like, okay, you're already getting sold, right? You have not gotten the discount yet, but you're already getting sold. At this point, once you get through this, you're probably way more likely to actually buy something from them because they showed you how their product works. They showed you some social proof. They showed you, they asked you what you're shopping for, what you need from Obvi, and then they're giving you their discount. You can see this expires in 30 minutes, right? So they're giving you some urgency. Obviously, this is artificial as well, but it works probably way better than not having this. Now, let me show you the actual pop-up they're running right now. So this is the pop-up they ran a couple of days ago. I'm going to show you the pop-up they're running right now, which means that they're testing a lot of stuff constantly, right? So this is their current pop-up form. So as you can see, the offer is way different, right? It's buy one, get one free. So they're running a BOGO. They were running 20% off, if you remember. So let's go through this pop-up form to see what it looks like right now. So let's say I want to boost my energy. I'm going to enter my email here. Boom, my phone number. So let me enter that. You're in. So I get my discount code. Now, obviously, this is the same for everyone. It might look random, but it's obviously not because it says BOGO, which is the offer they're running. I guess this is just their way for tracking different variations of the pop-up form. So you go shop now. Now, as you can see, they're not running their educational flow after the discount because they're not running a discount. So they probably don't have a way to upsell you. So they're not doing that. They're just probably testing different variations. It might be that this is the winner of that test, obviously, but as you can see, they're constantly testing different offers and different structures of their pop-up form. So that's that. Let's now take a look at their email and SMS welcome flow. So this is their email welcome flow. So as you can see, we have 5 emails overall. Now they're sending an email every single day because they want to convert as many people as they can, because at this point, this is the warmest their leads will ever be, right? So they just want to convert as many people as they can, and then they're going to build that relationship further, but they just need that first conversion. So they would rather just oversend and kind of like spam people. They're not spamming people, but they're just delivering a lot of content in a short amount of time. They would rather do that and get a lot of people to unsubscribe, but then actually send every 3 to 4 days and then not get as many people to convert. So this is their email. Welcome to the Obvious Shows, their code, enjoy 20% off. Now, as you can see, they have a pretty good above the fold section. So we have the headline, we have the code, we have the offer, we have the CTA, and that's about it. This is the only thing you need. In your welcome email, the most important thing is your hero section, right? Above the fold, what is above the fold? We need to have a headline, probably some hero image. You need to deliver the code. You need to tell them what the offer is, and you need to put your CTA there so they can click it. So when I open this email on my phone, I need to be able to see all of this without scrolling. That's the most important thing. This is going to boost your conversion rate massively. So let's take a look at what's going on down here. So we have sub copy, pretty cool. You can see how they're changing the color. They're bolding this. This is a different color. The reason they're doing all of this is just to make it easier for you to actually read this, because no one's going to read everything word for word. People are actually just going to skim this. They're going to take a look. Oh, for most people, okay, like they just come in, okay, boom, they're just write them, then be prepared for some results, get everyone. That's how people read actually in real life, right? No one's going to read this word for word, this sentence, no one's going to do that. So if you want to get people to get as much info out of your copy as possible, you need to do it this way. So you need to change colors, change thickness of your font, all of that stuff. And then you're going to get people to skim your copy, and they're going to actually get something out of your email. You can see how their design is pretty simple. It's not bad, but it's very simple. It's very basic. So you have get your 20% off here. Your code, I would probably make this way bigger than this. This is not very, does not capture your attention very well, honestly. I would probably also put it above this. But the problem is that this section here is, I'm pretty sure this is a dynamic code, which means that this was made just through like Klaviyo. They're using Klaviyo as their email service provider. So this section here is not a image from Figma. This is just a block of text they made in Klaviyo. So they can't really put it in here. That's the problem, right? So that's why they did it this way. But if you're going to do it this way, I would just make this way bigger, and I would make it like closer to this button so people can actually see it. But it's fine still. Then we have like an infographic about their product, their company. So we have a 90-day guarantee, highest quality ingredients, and it's made in the US. Simple stuff. You can see they don't have very much copy, just like a headline, main points. And then if you want to read a little bit more, you have some supporting copy here. They're using icons, which makes it way easier to actually grasp what they're saying with this. Because if I were to just say this and not have this, if you can imagine, it would be way less engaging, right? This way, I'm reading this and I'm seeing an icon that's conveying the same thing. So this is pretty good. Again, they're reinforcing the same thing. 20% off with code, my code, right? So this is pretty good. Then we have some social proof. So the Obvi community, 100,000 and counting. They're putting some UGC images, content, all of that stuff. Now they have joined the Obvi community. I'm pretty sure this is leading to their Instagram or something like that. I don't like that, honestly, because this is a welcome email. I'd way rather have this just like have it like geared towards actually converting people with your welcome flow, right? Because this is just distracting to the customer. I guess they tested it and it's working well for them, but I don't like it, honestly. This here, this like kind of like a footer is pretty cool, honestly. They're just giving you some quick USPs in a form of icons, in a form of an infographic that you can consume in this email, which is pretty cool. Then we have the second email. So get 20% off your first order. I like this way more. This code needs to be bigger. We have the CTA above the fold. This is pretty good. I like this email, honestly, way more than this one. I would probably make this their kind of like first email, honestly. This is pretty good. Then we have some short copy. This hero image is pretty cool. We have an infographic. Again, the same thing. We have icons. They're delivering the same point. They have kind of like main points bolded. And then they have some supporting copy. If you want to read a little bit more about looking to burn fat section, you can read the supporting copy, but you don't have to. You have CTA. Then again, not sure where to start. This is pretty important, I guess, for their product, because this is going to get people personalized solutions, and they're going to probably improve their conversion rate. Then we have 25% off is waiting for you. This is the code, right? Now this is very interesting, because you can see there, they're giving you 20% off, and here they're giving you 25% off. So I don't know how this thing is working exactly. So this is probably the 25% off we got from the upsell. We went through the educational flow, right? This is very interesting. Not sure how that is working, but overall, we're just taking a look at this flow. We're not going to dive deep because we don't have really access to their account, right? So again, the same thing. We have headline, we have the code. Again, I would make it bigger, and I would put this CTA up here, because this is not going to convert really well, because this is not above the fold. They're introducing their risk-free for a 9-day guarantee, no questions asked discount. Pretty cool. They're having this hero image. I'm pretty sure they use AI. They use ChatGPT to create this. Might be wrong, but it's cool. Then we have another infographic. So again, it's basically the same stuff. We're not going to go through every single email, but you have the same structure. We have the headline, we have the code, we have a hero image, we have a CDA, we have a infographic, and we have like, they're doing their quiz, but that's not really important for you if you don't have a similar thing. For you, it would just be, again, code here, use code, this code, welcome 10 or whatever, to get 10% off your first order, and then you would put a CTA here, and that's about it. Same thing here. They have a headline, 25% off, ends in 24 hours. They're introducing some urgency here. They have a code. I'd probably, again, make this way bigger, but whatever. They have a CTA, hero image. Now we have some reviews with photos. This is really cool, because it's actually showing people the results tangibly. It's not about just the word. It's about them having images that are actually the proof, right? So we have that. Two testimonials, but they're actually very good, because for both, they have images, right, with before and after. They have specific information about, hey, I weighed this much, and now I weigh this much, right? So that's pretty cool. And then same thing here. They are doing CTA. Again, I would do it like this. This is the code. Click here to use it. That's about it. And then we have this thing, hours left for 25% off. With code, this is the code, CTA. This is pretty good, pretty effective because the CTA is above the fold. The only CTA which is not above the fold is this one, I guess. This one is like kind of there, but I would probably still put it up here. So I really like this hero section. Pretty short email. They're just driving that urgency. Hey, like you got a couple more hours to use it and then it's going to expire. So this is their welcome flow, their email welcome flow, right? So then also they're running their SMS welcome flow, the same thing. So while they're sending you these emails, they're actually hitting you up on SMS as well, which is pretty good. They're having that kind of like omnipresence, omni-channel marketing. That's really important. If you don't have an SMS welcome flow for your brand, you gotta get it, right? Because it's converting really well. It has like 98% open rate or something like that. It has a high unsubscribe rate as well, but it's just like you need to use it for those initial conversions for your sales and stuff like that. You're not sending educational emails on your SMS, right? You're not sending educational SMS, first of all, because you don't have that much space. You can use only 160 characters for a price of 1 credit for US and Canada. So it's going to get very expensive if you try to write a really long SMS. And then also, people don't want to receive that kind of stuff in their SMS. So if you're going to use SMS, and I really advise you do, you need to do it in a way where you're like promoting your offers and that's it, right? So also there's no spam folder in there. So you can write stuff like 100% satisfaction guarantee, try risk-free for 90 days. If you were to write this stuff in your email, you'd get flagged as spam. You'd end up in like promo or spam because these are the spam words. Satisfaction guarantee is a spam word. Risk-free is a spam word. 100% is a spam thing. Satisfaction, money back, spam. All of this would get flagged as spam, and SMS, that doesn't happen. So let's take a look at their SMS. So Obvi, welcome to the club. Save the attached contact. So I'm pretty sure this is longer than 160 characters, which means that they're paying 2 credits per SMS. Hopefully that's working for them well, because if not, they're wasting money, right? This should be way shorter, right? But let's take a look at this. So this is below 160 characters. So this one is good. Start here to pick your favorites. Tapping applies 20% of your order instantly. So you can do it this way. I'd probably just do it like get 20% off your first order. This is the code, shop now, boom, done. But they're probably testing this stuff. This is working for them very well. So this is it. There's not really much I can tell you about SMS because it's a really simple thing, because obviously you can kind of like send only 160 characters. That's what you're going to do in most cases, because it's going to get really expensive. So I can't really tell you much. Like there's not really much space for experimenting here. It's really about delivering the offer, getting people the discount code, and putting the CTA, like a link. That's about it. So you can see here, 100% satisfaction guarantee or your money back. Try Obvi risk-free for 9 days. CTA. That's it. Tap to get 20%, 25% off instantly. I would just put another break in here so this text stop to opt out is not kind of like glued to this part here, but whatever. This is how you do SMS. It's super simple. It's just about delivering the offer, delivering the CTA, delivering the discount code, and that's it. Because as I said, it does not have spam filters and all that. It has a really high open rate. So if you're running SMS around sales for your welcome flow, abandoned cart, abandoned checkout, that's fine. Just don't do educational SMS and stuff like that. That's not going to work. You're just going to get really high subscribe rates, and you're just going to get people to leave your list without buying anything. So don't do that. Now let's take a look at their campaigns that they're sending weekly. So as you can see, they're sending every other day approximately, which is the perfect cadence we find for our clients as well. So let's take a look at this stuff. So as you can see, they're running a lot of plain text emails, which is pretty interesting. It might be a case that is just working really well for them, because they have kind of like a interesting brand where they are running this. They have this guarantee, and they're like promising a really specific result. Not a specific result. They're not promising a specific amount of weight you're going to use, but you get it. Kind of like they can run a lot more direct response copy than most of you guys that are selling, for example, fashion or stuff like that. But overall, that might be the case, but also it might be the case that their deliverability is bad, so they're trying to improve it through sending plain text emails. Might be the case. So you can see this one, Tina's 90-day weight loss diary. So they could have done like a designed email for this one, but they decided to do it this way, like a plain text email. As I said, it might be the case that their deliverability is just bad, so they're trying to improve it. But it also might be the case because this direct response copy is converting better for them, because this is way more interesting to read. There's nothing to distract you, right? So that's their strategy. Now, this is very specific. You shouldn't probably do it this way. They're sending way too many plain text emails for an average ecom brand. For them, obviously, it might be working. It might be due to their deliverability. But for you, for an average ecom brand owner, you should be just sending way more designed emails. And then, let's say every 4 to 5, let's say 3 or 4 times a month, you're sending one plain text email, because they're really effective. But if you overuse them, they're going to lose that effectiveness, because they're going to use that novelty effect, right? So you shouldn't be sending this much. But for example, let's take a look at this one. Your GLP-1 alternative, no needles, no high price tag. So you can see here, they're running a sale, right? But they're kind of giving you that educational moment, right? You can imagine if this email was not a sale email, if this wasn't discounted, still without this shop elite for 50% off, use this code, right? If it was just shop now here without this code, this will still be a really good email because this is an educational email. They're educating you about their product. They're showing you how it works. Why you'll love burn a lid. So they're giving you all the benefits, all the features, all of that stuff. So even without the discount, this would be a really good email. These are the kinds of emails you should be sending for your ecom brand because people don't want to be sold all the time. They want to actually receive some educational, value providing emails that are interesting for them to read. So you can take a look at this one. So this is a recipe for this peanut butter glow smoothie that includes Obvi as well. So this is a really good way to promote your food, beverages, even supplements and stuff like that, because you can kind of like give people a recipe and then include your product in there. And they're like, sure, you can use some other collagen than Obvi, but if you want to get the best results, the results that we guarantee in this recipe, you can use Obvi and you can buy it here, click here, buy, right? This is something Brez does really well. I don't know if you know those guys. They're saying like, they're selling THC drinks or stuff like that. And they're constantly giving some recipes for cocktails and that sort of stuff that includes breads. So that's something you could do if you're selling beverages, drinks, supplements, and that sort of stuff. So this is really cool. Again, plain text email. It's like, let's read this. Let's take a look at what Obvi sent to me. That's the vibe you're getting when you open their email, when you're on their email list. So this is pretty cool. They're still including an image just to give you an easier way to, first of all, visualize what you're going to make and then give you a recipe, which is kind of like broken down into here, but they have it in here as well. So these kinds of email, they're like providing value to you. They're not being too pushy. Obviously, they're running way more sales. I don't know if this is just now. I have not been on their list for long enough, right? But this is what it looks like. But still, they're providing some value because, that's the way to run it. Now, obviously, the way I would do their email marketing is probably just way less plain text emails, way more designed emails, and way more value providing emails. So you can see this one, for example. What is the number one protein women lose with age? Answer: collagen. So this is an educational email, like women lose collagen, you need collagen, and they kind of tie down to their product, right? So that's the way to do it. You can see they don't have very much copy. They have some copy, right? But it's not too much. They have a lot of kind of like not a lot of infographics. These are very simple, but they are actually very big, and they kind of feel like you're getting a lot of value because they're big. This is kind of like a psychological trick. You can try. So that's about it for their email marketing strategy, and that's about it for their marketing funnel. So if you're looking for someone to run your email marketing on a purely performance basis, you can take a look at my description. First link in the description is going to be my calendar link. You can book a call with me there. I'm going to take a look at your current email marketing strategy, and then we're going to see if that would be the right fit for you. So if that's the case, if we see we're the right fit, if we see that that's the right decision for you, I'm going to run your email marketing on a purely performance basis, which means that you only pay a percentage of the email generated revenue. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.